Young and stylish. Make a spectator. Make a spectator. So, some things that you saw in that game that I'm just doing wrong is I'm getting that big Hydra, Lurker mid-game army, and it's working out really well. What I'm not doing with it is getting my 5th base sooner. You notice I had control of the middle of that map. Zerg normally doesn't get to do that shit, but if you win an engagement with your Lurkers, you get that. And you're supposed to use that to take a 5th base and shove Ultralisk down his throat before his mech transition finishes.
So, ooh, TVT. Cool.
Interesting.
Stuff.
So, TVT, we normally see a bunch of siege tanks, a couple of Wraiths, maybe a dropship or two. Spider Mines, not as super effective. Some players would view Spider Mines as an anti-drop tool and a map vision tool, rather than a tool to prevent army movement. Just because an A-move mech army just clears out the mines so easily, and vultures, your enemy vultures, don't even detonate the mines, just fly right over them. But putting them in your base, like at the edges of your base next to your missile chart, so stuff can't fly in and unload.
Yeah. I remember there being some really fun anti-drop mine placement strategies. Like, I know for like Arbiter weapons, they would actually build like a field of supply depots, and then put the mines between them. And anyone who, and if any weapons happened, they would just like be smushed into this tiny space with mines. Really nice. All right, so we got a mirror build so far. Except, someone
some
dropped
of
by
the
an SCV.
oddball Starbow things that might happen is, I don't know if mercs are actually viable against tanks. So tanks could overshoot and kill one merc, and then the mercs grapple on, because the mercs have pretty good range, and the tanks can only shoot as far as they have vision.
That merc grapple range is ridiculous.
It is, but it's
Like,
necessary, or else you won't be able to grapple onto Reavers.
Yeah. Reapers?
Reavers.
Oh, Reavers. I was like,
Reavers. Why would you need to grapple onto an Overwatch hero?
ugh. So you can stun them before they do their ult.
Blizzard, you know reuse names.
I like how in the lore for Overwatch, it's just like, yeah, this dude just takes people's souls, literally. Oh, okay.
Well, I do have a talking monkey. I mean, it's not the furthest stretch of the truth. For some reason, there's a dwarf in it.
No, he's just a... Oh, okay, yeah, he's a dwarf, like a real dwarf.
Yeah. No, this guy's from fucking Ironforge, don't you lie.
Swedish dwarf.
He doesn't sound Swedish.
I don't really know the Swedish accent. I just know that he's Swedish.
I don't know. Like,
one of his sprays is like an IKEA pictogram of how to set up a turret. It's great. Meanwhile, we got a factory out for Young, and not quite a factory out for StYlish.
Yep, it was a bunker expand for StYlish. And looks like he's building the tech lab on the barracks and is going to do a swapperoo. Fun fact is, if you drop an overcharge on your factory while it's flying, it will fly faster. So you can use the overcharge to get your factory to land even faster on the tech lab, so you can begin production from the tech lab even sooner.
I haven't seen min-maxing that hardcore since Warcraft.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Warcraft, though. Ugh.
Or
My
World of
favorite.
Warcraft.
What was your favorite Warcraft 3 build? There wasn't
I didn't play
many
Warcraft.
builds.
I don't know.
But my favorite Warcraft 3 build was to do what was called necrobombs, which is where you get meat wagons and necromancers, and you unload the corpse, and then you raise the dead, the corpse. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was the macro build for the game. Everything else was just a bunch of micro cheesy shit. And the counter for that was your opponent would level their lord up.
Dispel, right?
Yeah, and they could one-shot. They would one-shot the lurkers. Like there was a hero that used lightning bolts and just shoot lightning bolts into the forehead of the necromancers and one-shot them. And,
yeah.
And the way the undead player would deal with that, it was they would get
Vulture
vultures in the base. Vulture against vulture fights. Oh. But these vultures are pretty heavily damaged, and he's trying to do fancy micro and not doing it too well. Just shoot the wounded one, bro. There you go.
Shoot into the face.
Right. Anyway, so the way you would deal with these, your guys get sniped in the head, is you would build a Death Knight.
Spider Mines at the base of the ramp. Spider Mines.
You noticed, skin. Yeah, they're too easy to clear in this matchup. These Spider Mines aren't ever going to do anything in their life.
No.
Like, when is any unit going to go back there?
He tried to bait him. You see that?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you didn't see me put Spider Mines in your face. So just, walk it.
Yeah. These SCVs are like, guys, what are these? It's my SCV voice. But no, to finish what I was saying, you had to get a Death Knight, and you had to go do what's called creep stealing, and you would use Death Coil to steal the creeps from the enemy lord, so he couldn't level up high enough to one-shot your necromancers when the push came.
Oh my god.
that was the strategy of the game, mate.
Fucking levels of meta.
Game paused.
StYliShGuy having an
Stylish has to
crisis.
PP. It says right there, clearly, stylish PP. It's like a child referring to themselves in the third person. If anyone's wondering why my rants are getting more and more bizarre,
This is what happens when you ingest diuretics into your body, and then you're slowly losing brain mass. Oh, tip for hangovers: just drink a lot of water as you're drinking.
that's okay. I have to be at Six Flags by 8 in the morning tomorrow. No, 9 in the morning tomorrow. Roller coasters with hangovers.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible thing to do.
And what's better is my boyfriend doesn't ride roller coasters, so we just get myself a fast pass and I go on them.
That's like, I want to see the snapshot of that you just being alone on a roller coaster.
And my favorite one is Superman. I'll literally go back to back Superman, just like.
I haven't been to a theme park in.
Look, we overcharge on the barracks to speed it up. Right there. Right there.
My god! What the fuck?
And he's using it to scout, so he gets in and scout faster.
That's so.
But you have to land it. It doesn't work unless you land. You can't call it down while it's in the air. That's why he landed it and then lifted it and ran it in.
Unless the SCVs decide to bum rush, which they should.
Yeah, these SCVs could kill all these
really
tanks.
bum rush that.
They could kill all of the tanks.
Yeah, they could.
Oh, the scan to hit the SCVs. The SCVs are small and have 60 HP. In fact, they don't die to siege tanks. You can kill all these.
Ooh, GG.
Yeah, and since how they're gonna you let them shoot your command center and then you go. Like by the time they can shoot again, yeah, it's not happening.
I don't know if you can just auto-click. You can't auto-repair anymore in multiplayer, right? No,
You have to tell them to repair, and then they will continue to repair.
Okay, yeah.
As long, but they won't. I don't know if they'll seek out things to repair.
I just remember you can put repair on autocast, and if you have a gaggle of SCVs and they're just getting shot at, they'll just keep repairing each other and pretty much be invincible.
Remember, you can go bio intent. Please go bio intent.
And what now?
In Starboat Chat, Stylish is suggesting his opponent go bio.
Oh.
It is true, mercs do pretty well against tanks, but you have to bait out the first volleys.
Just send a marine out.
Yeah, and then once all the siege tanks have overkilled on something, then you jump onto the tanks. However, Also, another thing is vultures do so bad against them, but mines just Shrek.
Oh yeah.
Mines just Shrek them. Who's playing? Who's playing?
Oh.
Well,
I remember the legacy version of the perk. I think it was just called the Merc. It did splash freaking damage. Like it had a shotgun or something, and it was dumb. I would
and it
during like
stunned.
the beta stuff. It had a stun too, yes.
Yeah, and it's stunned. Now it
That
just
grapple.
slows a tiny bit. Actually, the most effective attribute of the Merc is that it lags the game so bad your opponent can't control their army.
These two again? Alright, cool.
Stylish going Zergy, Zergy.
A matchup I know.
Next game
Let's see if
toss.
he can, let's see if he can figure out a way around Young's mech play. 'Cause that stuff looked impenetrable for a bit.
There's 18 bots in my chat, is that what you're saying?
Some guy paid 18 bots to be in your chat. Which is flattering, I suppose.
You know, the next unit I want introduced into Starbow is these little machines that populate the map. The little like automation tron thingies,
Yeah.
the critters. I want those. Yeah, I want those to be a unit. Moralt is a robot. He just said beat boop. It is a very he's definitely a robot.
Oh, what?
Oh my gosh, someone did it. Someone got an AI to play StarCraft 2 and Brood War just as good as a person. And that's what Moralt is. Moralt's actually just an AI. In chat, he said beat boop.
I thought you were going to talk about the AlphaGo stuff. Alpha BW. They're working on it. I want to see that. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, that's
Or
gonna be
horrible, or just horrible. I'm not sure.
Dota 2 star.
I play League, and I
play
nothing
League
but
over
ARAM.
Dota.
No. I only play ARAM.
Really?
Yeah, I hate farming. Like the farming phase, I just hate it so
I
much.
find it so fun. Like every
But I
time I can
understand the skill
force
behind
a
it.
creep wave into my opponent's tower, I'm like, aha!
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am winning.
Like I understand creep
Never mind,
control,
my bot
I
lane just
understand
fed 2
freezing
kills, I'm
lanes.
still
I
winning.
understand like zoning things out and all that. I just hate it.
Why not just jungle?
I mean, I play. I'll play. What is it? Summoner's Rift. Is that the classic one?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll play it with when friends are on, but other than that, I won't really play it.
I've been playing some clippity cloppity Hecarim, and he's been clippity clopping all over some AD carries' faces as of late.
I can't wait till all random Earth mode. That's gonna be my jam. Because before all of that, I played nothing but Dominion.
So we're definitely going
I
to be
got
seeing
the- I
some
got
2
the
hatch
rank
mutas
30.
show up. Queens! We're seeing queens before... Queens the first use of gas.
Oh.
That effectively makes whatever build Stylish does a 3 hatch build, because it's delaying the time it takes to get the queen.
Yeah.
Just like you would be if you were delaying your gas to get a hatchery.
Right.
And you're getting the queen to inject.
Queens generate love a little bit faster.
A single queen generates 60% of the larva of a 1 hatchery.
So he's gonna want 2.
Yes, and that would be 120%
Even then, that
of
wouldn't
larva.
really-
And the 120% of larva you can't actually produce everything off of with this level of drone saturation.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
guess
I
it's
don't
on-
get queens. Another reason is I like having 9 mutas rather than having 8 mutas when all my mutas pop. Because yours
Oh.
mutas,
You're
because you're going to have
open
1 more
both,
larva, yeah.
1-1-1 build. Over from a youngster.
Wow!
YoungRustler. What was this thing called? It had a dumb name, I remember. God. What was it?
Is this the fantasy build? It's the fantasy I got supply blocked build.
My fantasy is having free supply build. There we go.
Yeah.
I remember it just had this really obnoxious name to it. But I cannot for the life of me remember it right now.
You mean the StarCraft 2 variant of it?
I think it was a Brood War build.
This looks like StarCraft 2 right now. We have mobile,
does.
yeah, we have mobile-esque units and queens defending them. Right?
Starbow 2? Is that what this is?
Dude. Oh, the queens just are not angry enough.
Meanwhile, this vulture's just pooping out grenades out of his ass.
Let's open up all the actual stuff we're supposed to have open. Okay. We see mines coming out. Yeah.
And he's gonna drop. I'm wondering how.
This is the fantasy build. You drop mines. So you drop the vultures in. You put the mines close to the ramp.
Oh, yeah.
And then the hydras can't get up to defend, and you just kill all the shit in the main base.
StYlish realizing vultures can actually kill an infinite amount of lurklings.
And that they can. Good answer by StYlish, taking the farther away expansion. Normally, you want to have mutas
So
up pretty
dropship
soon.
is this dropship is it a fake? I'm not sure.
I think he's wanting to kill shit across the map with the vultures, and then
Yeah.
load them up later.
Oh,
Oh, not going to be a drop if they're dead.
Bring the dropship. There we go. Ah.
Dirty base. I love that. But this is the fantasy build. This is exactly the fantasy build.
No, I guess that is the name of it.
It's just a
Meanwhile-
very badly executed fantasy build.
Now the Spire is on the way. These Zerglings are just moved commanded onto the dropship, so no drops are happening at all. On the other side, we got more. Yeah, so it's just going to transition into pure mech, but I'm still a little worried about those mutas coming in. He only has
Yeah,
two
so the
per-
next step in the fantasy build is to go ahead and get out some Valkyries.
Oh, no.
But
that's
he's
true.
he's falling into the same trap. He's getting siege tank with tech. Siege tanks don't shoot up, buddy. You're in his base with units. You saw what his tech was. You have scan. You're Terran. You know this is coming. Siege tanks are not going to help you here, buddy. Go ahead and get your Valkyries and go and get some.
I refuse to call them Vikings.
I think they're called Vikings now. What are they called?
No, they're Valkyries.
Yeah, they're Vikings now.
No.
And that used to be the thing in Starbow Mech was to open this into Vikings, and it would be 2-port Viking.
Can you still do the kind of like the weird patrol moving shot stuff?
Kind of don't have to. They do splash damage. Just
Yeah,
kill
but like
everything.
I remember, like there was a way to do it. You get to the edge of the range of the attack with a Valkyrie, like a Brood one, and then you patrol back, and it'll start shooting its full damage while moving away.
Yep.
It was pretty much it was bull. But, I mean, let's just leave it at that. But it was such a cool micro trick that you could do.
I think the way they've done that here in Starbow, this has been a long time. I don't remember much about the development of Valkyries, but there was a big thing. Like every unit in the game had about 2 months of the Starbow development team dicking around to try to figure out how to make it work like Brood War.
Yeah.
So I
know
think
those
the way it
missiles
works,
take a lot.
yeah, is if it's moving and you issue a fire command, its deceleration gets, like in the editor, gets wonked, and so it won't decelerate as quickly as it should, and it'll keep moving. I think that's the way they recreated that micro.
Interesting.
Now this is very useful against mech. What StYlish is doing is spreading creep. Because mech can't be too active on the map with anything other than vultures, the creep is going to let him spot the vultures and get the mutas in position to clean them up a lot faster. And by the time any mech push comes around to actually pushing, he's going to have the whole map gooped up and will have really good vision of where he should attack. Now, this is where the pain of not being able to shoot up into the air comes in. Well, I guess those can shoot up in the air just fine, but
They're somewhat outnumbered.
yeah.
The second Stylish remembers Goliaths don't do damage against mutas, he's gonna swoop in and kill everything. So
Yeah, he could probably take
that's-
that on and then kill the tech lab.
Out. Gonna need some time to get health. Oh, this is a
But
quality
Irradiate's
job.
done, so these mutas have a bit of a timer on them. Luckily, though, you can just magic box the... Similar to what I was doing in that last game, I just didn't have enough stuff to actually do it
Yeah.
effectively. If you pre-split your mutas enough, then Irradiate doesn't do damage. Yeah, pretty much. Drop, though. The drop's now a little dangerous without having the Vikings out. That's part of the fantasy build, is the Viking
Yeah.
part. That way you... or Valkyries. That way you can actually escort your dropship without it getting sniped by mutas.
And Stylish is just finally taking the left side of the map because he realizes, oh, he's not really doing anything. Ooh.
That was a pretty big
love
volley.
I love how they changed the look of that. It looks a lot better. Those missiles, that is.
Yeah, and the sound animation was just super annoying. That's my impersonation. My very, very tipsy impersonation. Oh, okay. It was a dropship. I thought we had the arrival of the Viking.
Oh,
Needs
here
an
comes the
armory.
Here
We have
comes
a
the already? Oh!
And it's a double irradiate, so he has to split both. And these are all so low, and they're still dying.
Oh! And he scans just to see what his damage is.
Yeah. But, you know, these mutas can still clean up stuff like vultures. You know, they can still do the job, be defensive. Those mutas had no business going into that base at all. That's not what you do with them. They're defensive. So that's pretty much what they get. That's what Stylish gets for trying to harass. These Hydras are going to clean up some spider mines. Queens might get very angry though.
1 HP.
And so Stylish is doing the right thing with his mutas, which is just letting them heal up. But
He's been playing very oddly at this game. He's really passive, and I mean, I understand he's going mech, but still, it still seems super passive.
well, I think Mech is doing almost everything correct, except for not taking bases more aggressively. This is the wrong base to take. You want to actually take that few extra steps
gas.
and go ahead and go take this, gas base. This is not the base you take.
I think he's setting up for it though. Eventually.
So yeah, I would like to see Mech try to expand more aggressively, and I think Zerg's doing the right thing. He's mining. Actually, he's not mining very much. I would send most of my drones down to this fourth base, because this is eventually going to become Terran's sixth base later in the game. This is its expansion pattern. He expands that way across the map. Expanding out here to this base is a little more scary. Whenever you can do it this way with mech, it's a lot easier. So I feel like he's mining the right base. I also would like to see him take this base.
He's a really good creep spread, for what it's worth.
Yep. It's all going to go away when the first push comes, but it's just being able to see everything about that first push is really nice. And being able to see all the vulture harass is also really nice. So notice how Terran is mining, this side of the map. I think it's a little bit of a mistake. His intent is to prepare better defense on this while being able to push out somewhere across, out that way, and have these mines covering the flank. But Zerg's not over there, so he's going to have to attack through the same path his mines is at, which may lead him sieging up on top of his own mines, which kind of ends badly.
Yep. Alright, so he's getting his fourth command center up. I'd actually really like to see more science vessels come out. I think we've just forgotten about it. Because once those tech units from Zerg comes out, he's gonna need them. Oh, we got drop researched. He's gonna drop some.
Good, and I think drop is a very viable option. Once the science vessel count gets up so high, it just becomes hard to use mutas effectively.
Yeah.
You almost have to have a trade where you absorb all the irradiates, and then a remax trade where your opponent doesn't have any irradiates.
Alright, so here comes a leapfrogging siege push. And meanwhile, Zerg's gonna try to attack into this. Oh, it's gonna come in perpendicularly to a huge tank line. Look at this tank line. This is amazing.
Ooh.
Tank line.
Yeah, this is a pretty good spread.
Look at that. Alright, so Zerg just lost half his stuff. Meanwhile, the siege on Zerg's net, what is this, third base? Whatever, is ongoing. Lots of spider mice to defend. Ooh, Guardians, north side of the natural. Of Terran's net.
Yep, very normal to see Guardians against mech sieging up bases.
Still no science vessels.
Yeah, had he had some science vessels, they would be irradiating the bejesus out of these Guardians.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah, this is a Nidus to
to
evacuate
defend.
his drones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evacuate.
Does he know about those Guardians? He must.
Yeah, he knows they're there. He just doesn't have anything to do with them. He's making a wraith.
Alright.
Well, he did not make any Vikings earlier, so he doesn't have any
Yeah.
air dominance.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about.
So here comes the drops, pooping Hydralisk all over the mech army. And this expansion is going to be somewhat vulnerable. And I think the Terran player has overextended himself before he was maxed, and is now just going to lose the game. Unless the Zerg 1As into the sim.
I think he could pull it off, but he could stand again a little bit longer. But I don't know anymore.
Like, this third base should be gone now.
Yeah, that's gonna die.
D-Matrix!
A lot of factories. He has 2 armories and no upgrades.
You know, I think the Vipers would just do so much better now against tanks. I think when I see mech, I think I want to start transitioning to Vipers.
Yeah.
Instead of transitioning
Takes a while to get him up,
Lurker
though,
Muta.
so you gotta really do it.
Yeah, but mech is not exactly gonna kill you anytime soon.
That's true.
Here's something I disagree with heavily is the Ultras. The reason being is everything that you make for mech to deal with things on the ground is just super effective against Ultras. Spider mines, tanks, super effective against Ultras. Irradiate. I don't think Ultras provide any value. Against Bio, Ultras are great. But, like, what Ultras have going for them is this, like, massive 5 armor. That doesn't mean diddly squat when you got an 80 damage siege tank shot coming down on your head, right? Or 70 damage. Sacrificial unit or 2. So where's the Overlords at over here to do the drops?
I don't know if he wants to. He's got a lot of defilers. I think he's just gonna brute force it.
Well, you know, Defiler's not going to do anything about that minefield, though.
Yeah. Concerning the number of tanks, I hope he doesn't try that. Oh, well, actually, you know what? There's not that many tanks either, so.
I think the right thing to do is to fly some units over the army and find out where it's weak, and then go later. Actually, I think it's incorrect to attack into this altogether. They're going to be planned out soon.
He just lost half his vulture count from a friendly fire.
Nidus worm!
Yep, there it is.
So he needs to race to the ramp really, really fast to slow down the mech armies trying to get back in there.
So many ultras.
Um,
Oh man, look at that. I love how fast those things unload.
yeah,
Oh,
right?
okay. Ooh, Spider-Man is taking out about 4 ultras there. Dark Swarm coming out. That's his whole arm. Well, not quite his whole arm, but this is like the new Doom drop right here.
Now, one of the problems
Yeah,
that he's
kill him.
going to discover is he's Dark Swarming and he has Hydras. Hydras can't do damage under Dark Swarm, so these buildings
Yeah.
are not getting DPS down by the Hydras.
He doesn't have a Adrenal.
The Defilers, he has like 40 Defilers marching into Siege Tanks.
Ouch.
But
Oh,
the
I guess
real
that's gotta
damage
get
that's
back in.
occurring here is the damage to the supply depots. If you can crush the supply depots down low enough, it gets pretty difficult for Terran
that's
to remax. Because the next best thing to do, yeah, the next good thing for Zerg to do is to go ahead and attack and trade an army, and then the Terran player won't be able to remax.
Yeah.
I think all of this that we're seeing is stemming from that one overextension by the mech player to try and attack that left side of the map.
Yeah, yeah. Went a bit too ham over there.